Welcome. Thank you for all coming out. And it's hard for me to know exactly how many people are out there online, but after the presentation is over, we'll pull you up on the screen so you can ask questions and we can see you. But at the moment, we're going to focus on the presentation that we have at hand here. So before we begin, I'm sure most of you know that the co-op has been in existence for more than 50 years. And it's become one of the pillars of the Ashland community, along with the Shakespeare Festival and with the college and
Okay.
other organizations.
Yeah, you're no, don't you did not ruin anything. Shh.
Hi, you're not on mute. We can hear you. Everyone check your mute button on there. Thank you.
Any rate, let's get started with the slideshow that we have, and then we can open it up. If you have questions that are pertinent to what's being on the screen, feel free to raise your hand and ask. I don't want to make people wait to the very end to ask questions. It seems we have a question already here.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh.
It's a question first. So
Okay, let's start there. My name is Evan Archard. I am the chair of the AFC Gives committee on the board of directors of the co-op. And why don't you introduce yourself?
Deborah Costello. I'm a volunteer on this committee and a shopper at the co-op. And I feel privileged to be as part of this group. Callie invited me, but she found out, and we met through the cooking school, the Cosmic Muffin School of Cookery. That was my business before I had to close down. So I'm tied here because of the food.
And I think the entire co-op would fall apart if it wasn't for Callie. So
Here in the marketing department. And I've been on the AFC Gives committee for the last 3 years. I'm just transitioning out. So a lot of you will probably have known me from the past, but you'll see a lot from Riley going forward, but I'm always available to you. But
so before we begin, there's just a couple of things. I mean, the program we're talking about now is a Change for Good program. It's one of two programs that the co-op has that provides funds for the community. The advantage of the Change for Good program is it's unrestricted. The other program, which is the grants program, is geared to a specific project. This money, if you're awarded the money, if we believe in your organization and what you're doing with the money is true to your mission, you can do whatever you want with it. It's not restricted to a specific particular project that you're working on. So let's begin. Now it doesn't want to go. Okay.
for all of you, have you all already completed an application, or you're in the process of completing, or you're thinking about completing? I'm just curious where you are in the process.
There we go. All right. Okay.
Good.
We hope.
Okay. Okay, so you're all in about the same place right now. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. So the Change for Good program, as you know, because you're here, applications are accepted in February, and then it takes about 2 months. By May, it goes through a process where you apply. There's usually historically been 30 to 40 organizations that apply, and only 10 are awarded each year. There's 1 month which is dedicated to in the year to Native American organizations, and one, if I'm not mistaken, is money that goes back into the general fund for AFC Gives. The other program, the grants program, the applications are in July and August, and the money is awarded in September. So 2020 was the first year for Change for Good partnership. The grants program has been going on, I don't know, is it 20 years?
The Change for Good program, well, we started Change for Good in 2020, but yeah, the grants program started, maybe 15, 16 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's been a much longer time. I'm sorry?
Mark, or just cumulative?
No, you get awarded, what is the dollar?
It averages out to about $5,500 a month. So yeah, as high as 8,000.
Lately, it seems like at least about 5,000 gets every month, and it's been as high as 9,000 looking back over the last few years. So it depends on the month, the year. And one thing people don't realize, and if you are awarded this program, you might want to make it aware to through your own media, is that people seem to think that you can only round up to the nearest dollar. And that's not true. People can round up $5, $10, whatever they want for your organization. And it's good for the people in your organization to know that and for you to publicize that because it can make a big difference. So, this shows you that in 2025, $72,552 was awarded. So that's roughly $6,000 a month, which is, it's a significant amount of money. These are two organizations that were Change for Good partners in 2025, Siskiyou Field Institute and Base of Southern Oregon. And again, the amount of money that's donated tends to be seasonal. I mean, some months are always higher than others. And then again, I guess some organizations do a better job of publicizing that they're part of the program, and so they get more donations.
So that money comes from a roundup at the facility.
Registered, they'll ask you if would you like to round
I
up.
wasn't clear.
And may I ask, is the duration just a month at a time or 2 months at a time? Oh, can you reapply?
You're awarded a month.
Again, or is it an always one thing?
Yeah. And we'll get into it later, but in partial answer to your question, the cashiers at the register, I mean, it's not a perfect world, it never is a perfect world, but they're supposed to ask, would you like to round up at every transaction? And there's also, we ask you to supply a small one-sentence description of what you're doing. And then at the register, there's also a slightly longer little card that describes your organization and what you do and what the money will go towards. This year, even though it says 5 categories up at the top, we have combined these categories. There was some overlap, and we just decided that we were going to make it into 3 basic programs: environment, health and basic needs, education, arts and culture. And on the application site, when you apply, the very first page of the application gives you a much broader description of each of these categories and what, how your organization can fit into these categories. And oftentimes an organization will fit into more than one of these categories, and that's fine. As long as it fits into one, you're good to go. So,
But you should know that the category that you select, that you apply under, we're gonna hold you to it. We do hold you to it.
What was that? What?
The category that you apply under, say if it's environmental, that we would ensure that you adhere to that environmental theme for your project.
And I have a question, like Rogue Valley Street Dog Project and the Rogue Valley Cat Sitter this month, what category would be under? Because our organization is similar to that, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, they were a basic needs category.
Oh, health and basic needs, okay. Thank you.
sure, you're welcome. Okay. So the timeline, well, we went live a few days ago on the 3rd with the applications on the website. Obviously, you're here today, so you knew about this meeting. By the end of the month, the 26th, not quite the end, a little before the end at 9 p.m., the application closes. Then those applications go to the board of directors and to this committee, the Change for Good committee, and we analyze them. We make recommendations then to which organization should be nominated to the entire membership. So unlike the grant program, the membership actually votes on all of these applications. Once they're curated and sort of figured out, what 10 organizations are going to be submitted. It goes out to a vote to the membership, unlike the grants program, which is made a decision made by the board of directors of the co. What was the question? Okay.
Excuse me, I'm online. I have a quick question.
Yes.
So the committee whittles the number down because you said about 30 to 40 apply. You whittle it down to 10, and then those 10 are put up for election. Is that correct?
No, it's 16, I believe. 16 or 17 organizations are the ones that are put out to the membership. So over those 16, there's a reasonably good chance that you would get voted in on. I mean, it's going to be a popularity contest, obviously, but there's a reasonable chance if you get through the curation that you would probably be. And again, if you don't get picked this year, there's nothing to prevent you from flying next year.
Back to
To
your
clarify,
question.
yeah, so then when you're selected, is it for 1 month at a time? In which case would it be 12?
Yes, you get 1 month. I mean, once you're selected, it'll be your month could be January, March, April, whatever, but it's 1 month, and you get all of the roundup for that 1 month.
She was like, 8 months would be so generous then, or would it be, well, we just get you in where you can?
Well, there's two parts of that. There's two answers to that. One is that typically we look at the organizations that got the most votes in this process, and those are typically awarded the months that were the highest earners in the past. But there's also, if you have a month up front, if you let us know, like June is not a good month for us. We've got too many people out of town to try to, help promote this. We will make every effort to honor if there's a month or maybe 2 months even that you don't think it's going to be a good idea. We'll try to honor that. Is that correct,
That's
Ellie?
correct.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. And then in June, the announcements are made that who the partners are, and then it's next year. Obviously, what's going to happen is we're doing this now, but none of this actually happens for you guys until next year. So let's move on. Okay, there's a couple of these are from frequently asked questions, and obviously there's other questions that you will have we can try to answer, but we'll go through these because these have been asked a lot of times in the past. Yes, either you have to be a 501c3 nonprofit or you have to partner with a fiscal sponsor that is a 501c3. And that's a requirement. The other requirement is that you must have an Ashland Food Co-op owner affiliated with your organization. It can be, like it says here, a member of your board, staff, a key donor. Someone who's affiliated with your organization has to be a member of the co-op, which makes sense. I mean, we're awarding the money, and we'd like to be, part of your process. And then this pretty much answers the question that was just asked before. How will the months be decided? Well, again, the months that are the most high earning months are typically given to the most voted on people in this ballot. But again, if you have a month or two that doesn't work for you, we will make every attempt to honor that. Okay, now this is my favorite part of the presentation, actually, because what I want you to take away from this meeting today, if you don't take anything else away, is it help us tell your story. I mean, people are going to say yes to rounding up this change if you make a good presentation, if you have a succinct 1 or 2 sentence description of what you do and why it's important to the community. And also, if you help us, make things happen. The organizations, we offer twice a month, I think, we offer a table outside. We offer a table outside the front door where you can have 2 or 3 people from your organization with more extensive information about what you do and how you do it and how it's great for the community. So you can do that. Give us good materials that we can help market on our website, and then market the heck out of this on your own website. Make sure that your employees, your customers, your friends, family, whatever, know that it's your month, and they can help you simply by coming to the store and rounding up 20, 30 cents at a time, Callie's heard me say this so many times, she's probably sick of it, but years ago, I was in the music business. And back then, the music business was a business of pennies. Every time a song was played on the radio, every time a record was sold, every time it was used in a movie or on television, the writers and the publishers of that music get paid literally in pennies. But at the end of the day, when you're selling millions of records and you're selling songs being played a gazillion times on the radio or now Spotify or Amazon Music or whatever, money is paid, and it adds up to a lot of money. You could see this. I mean, $75,000 in change that's got rounded up. So the better job you can do at helping us promote your organization the month you are awarded for your cause, the more money you will make, and it'll just be good for everyone. So this pretty much outlines the things that need to be done. Like I said, it involves a very brief thing that the cashiers can say. The cashiers typically don't say anything but "would you like to round up?" But if the customer says, "Who are we rounding up for?" they've got a canned little spiel that they can say it's whoever, and this is what they do. And the better you can make that, it's like I said, tell your story in 2 sentences. If you can make what you do sound important and worthwhile and something that we all should contribute to, people do. People are generous. I mean, they really are. And if you can come out with a table and sit there, for in 2 days during the month, all of that will really help. And we also put your information out on our website. So the better quality information you give us to promote with, the better it'll be for everyone. So.
With the stuff that you put out on your website, are we able to also include like our direct giving donation links if we have something along those lines? And that's only if people want to give in addition to like the roundup.
It's a good question. We always link through to, to the organization's website. I don't know that we've ever actually had anyone ask to link to something more specific than that.
I'm almost thinking it's on your website, so if there's a link to your website, they'll get it.
Yeah. But if you have special events coming up or you're doing a fundraiser, in addition to that, that's all information that, we'll share on our website and our social media pages.
Thank you, Kelly. So can I apply for Change for Good and Community grants? You cannot apply in the same year. And the funny thing about that is that we are awarding these grants, this process tonight for 2027. So you could apply for a Change for Good, a community grant in 2026. That will happen in the summer. So there's nothing to prevent you from applying for a grant because that's awarded in 2026. So you could get a grant for 2026 and you could be awarded in 26 Change for Good, but it won't happen in 2027. I know that's a little confusing, but you can't do both in the same year. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of this, the Change for Good is unrestricted. As long as your organization is a 501c3 and through this process, it's determined that what you're doing is worthwhile and good for the community, et cetera, you can use those funds for whatever alignment your mission states. The other program, the community grants, is for a specific project, and it's much smaller. Community grants only give out a maximum of $2,000. And generally what happens is the organizations that apply for it, not always, but I would say more often than not, the organizations that apply for community grants tend to be smaller where the $2,000 is going to make a big difference. Where the Change for Good, you've had very big organizations. La Clinica and people like that. They're very large organizations, but they're worthwhile, and they've applied and they've awarded.
I know, don't look at it. Don't look at it. So if you're applying it,
Two different things. If you apply for the Change for Good.
Let me just restate. I think I can make it clear. We're here tonight talking about the Change for Good program that will not happen until 2027. Okay, so you could apply for this program tonight and, or not tonight, but in this process. And if you're awarded that, it doesn't prevent you from in the summer applying for a community grant because that money will be awarded this year. So it's confusing because we're
I guess awarding and recipient. So you're going to be awarded the grant or the gift that you'll receive one in this year, the summer, and then the other one is for the following year.
correct. Yeah.
So you could get.
You
can get 2 gifts in 2 years in a
Could
row.
get community grants again next year.
Yeah.
When you are an active Change for Good partner in 2027.
Can you
get community grants 2 years in a row?
You can get a community grant every year that you're not a Change for Good partner.
The Change for Good is the only one that restricts to every other year.
Change for Good partner.
No, but it's like, yes, we have no bananas.
No one
I'm so sorry.
But if we don't have a relationship with this grant process, apply to both.
Yes, you
Yes.
should absolutely apply. to
Yes,
this. If you have
yes.
a project, I mean, we're gonna believe like most organizations can come up with a project. And some people don't ask for the full $2,000 for community grants. Some people only want $500 and
Yeah.
we'll do another info session for community grants when that
And
goes
it
live.
sounds to me as though you set it up such that you'll find out whether or not you're a Change for Good recipient in time to still apply.
Yes.
for the
Yes,
community grant.
yes.
That's a
Absolutely.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, you'll find out in May. And the grants program doesn't even begin to be looked at until July. Yeah, July. Were we all clear on that, Dad? Good?
Just don't overthink it.
You're right. Okay, let's move on here. Well, we talked about this beginning, how much is raised at the register. I don't think any month is as low as $3,000 anymore. That must be from years ago. Yeah, right.
The first month, the first time, I think.
Yeah, right. It's generally over 5 and tends to be like you could see an average of 6. 7 is not unusual. 9 is like the highest it was ever that I've looked back on the last 3 or 4 years. I could look back. I don't remember.
See their application.
I mean, if it's important, I'll look it up and give me your email. I'll send it to you. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's very true. It says when are the funds available? They're available approximately 3 weeks after the month ends. And one thing we do ask for now is that you come for a photo op to get your money and promote it, and helps us promote it. And it's just a fun thing, I mean, it's a celebration. So I don't know if the website still says we'll send you a check, but we really don't like to send a check. Sure.
You don't have those people.
I mean, it's your money at that point. We can't keep it.
Check.
Okay. Okay. Let me see if there is anything else that I wanted to cover that isn't on this. One thing that's not on this is that your organization has to operate in Jackson or Josephine County. It's not all of Oregon. It's just Jackson, Josephine County. And again, as we discussed just a minute ago, you can't be a recipient of Change for Good 2 years in a row, even apply. If you were awarded one, you got to wait a year. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to go over here while we're here. Well, I think it's important in the application, it says what we do to support your partnership. We offer you an information table like we discussed for 2 hours twice a month to share your materials. Our marketing team will produce graphics, images, and info that will be distributed, including AFC weekly sales flyer, social media posts, email blasts, printed and digital posters. And we have just at the very beginning, is the new website completely done now?
It's not done yet. It'll be probably live in about 2 months.
Okay, but we are in the process of finding our website, and it'll be a better experience for everyone. So I think that's it. I'd open it up for other questions that you may have, either online or in person. So thank you all online I can now kind of see who's there, and appreciate you joining us.
I have a question that probably can't be answered, but it's born of a kind of frustration. I'm with St. Vincent de Paul in Ashland and Talent.
Okay.
And we have received many community grants. And we use them to purchase gift cards to the co-op that we give out to needy families. And we help people with a variety of needs.
You do.
I have in the past a number of times applied for the Change for Good program. And we always pass the board, but we never pass the membership. And I think I know that part of that is the saint in front of our name.
Oh.
We do not proselytize. We don't even ask racial or ethnic any questions. We don't ask any questions of anybody, and we help everybody. But we can't seem to crack the saint in front of our name that people assume we're a religious organization and that we proselytize, which we never do. Any and all advice is welcome. I would apply again, but after applying a number of times, we just never seem to crack the code. And we could really use the money.
I'm wondering, do you make use of the table out front?
Well, not, the table comes once you
Or
get
once
the
you're
grant.
granted, that's
But
true,
if
yeah.
you're just there and your name is out there, it's one of the
Yeah,
17 organizations or whatever.
and they think.
Everybody
same-
sees Saint in front of your name, or worse, everybody thinks, oh, all your money comes from this thrift store in Medford, and you don't really need this money. So,
Well,
I just never seem to be able, no matter how cogent an application I make, I never seem to get it correct.
Well, I can't speak for the board unilaterally, but if you are selected by the board, I think that the board could discuss having some way to make that information available to the owners when it goes out for voting.
We always make it past the board, in the past, when I've applied
Well,
for it.
I'm just saying that I'm trying to help you.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I just don't.
And again, no, I believe me, I know from personal experience from people who are dear friends of mine. You have helped with rent. You've helped with many other things. And I know how good an organization you are. And I know we have nothing to do with Christianity, even though there's nothing wrong with Christianity.
Right.
But like all I can say is that, if you apply, I will bring it up to the board. If you're selected, I will bring it up to the board and say, hey, this is what's happened in the past. Is there any way we can make it clear in the voting process that you're not a religious organization? That all I can do is offer to bring it up.
So that's good.
Appreciate that.
It's good you got it.
We do our part with
Yeah.
that, and with the people we help,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of people. Last year we helped over 1,200 people. We missed a meeting.
Like I said, I am a huge fan of yours. So
I'm glad you said something. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry?
I'm glad you said something.
yes, I am
Yeah,
too.
literally. Yeah.
So, and this kind of, I think, would actually help build into that. When the vote goes out to the greater ownership, what kind of information is shared within that packet? Because to some extent, I wonder if it's like, you can frame that within, if a statement goes with it, or this is just signed up like Pope House, I know is one of our biggest referrals for listeners who work into in crisis, and so maybe focusing on a sub program rather than the large program. But what does the email or communication look like to the owners?
I think you're better
There's
equipped to answer that.
There's so many word blurb that goes out with every, all the owners will get a link to vote, and that will include the organization, a link to their website, and information that the organization provides that, explains what it is. And then, of course, the organizations are encouraged to, much like we do our Change for Good recipient, share, like everyone that's an owner, encourage them to vote for your organization, and so there's an opportunity there to spread the word.
Question, on members, spousal members don't see that? Is it just a member of, I don't know if it's the member?
That's right, you just have one vote. Yeah.
There's a question.
Yes.
Yes, hi, thanks. I have a question. Just generally speaking, When you are doing that evaluation and going down from 30 or 40 to the approximately 16 or 17, what are you looking at? What are you thinking about when you go through that evaluation process?
Well, I think primarily we're looking at which category you decided to apply for the funds for and how well your organization and your mission fits into those categories. I mean, that's the kind of discussion that we have when we break up into groups and teams and try to determine. I mean, most of the time, all 30 or 40 of these organizations are worthy. I mean, it's very rare that someone's applying that, it doesn't deserve the money in some level. But again, we have these statements in the categories, and we try to determine if the organization fits those categories and that the mission of the organization is in line with the things that they've applied for. So that's the best I can tell you.
Thank you. That helps. Appreciate it.
Can I add an addendum to that question?
Yes.
Do you, assuming 12 months in a year and 3 categories, do you do 4 for each category? Or is it sometimes heavily weighted more towards the education or or do you try to just
I think we're pretty even. We try to be even with that, but we also look at not just how you fit into the category, but how you define what your organization is about, your financial records. We'll look at that as well, your financial history. We weigh that in there's and your mission statement. We really, truly, Candace, we pretty much look at you in its entirety, because there's like Evan was saying, there are so many good organizations. Sometimes we're splitting hairs and arm wrestling at the table with Callie. No, I want this one. Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that we really do discuss. It's not just, check. There's a lot of gray area in what all this. Yeah.
I think that's a really important point that got brought up, is that we really do scrutinize financial records. We don't look at every, well, number one, we make sure that we make sure that you filed a tax return as a 501c3 organization. We look at, the basic financial information. We want to make sure that you're, a responsible, competent organization. Beyond that, we're not looking for, problems. We're just trying to make sure that we're giving money to an organization that's well run, on a basic level.
Now, I know you mentioned, so technically this is applying for the 10 months, and then there's the 1 month that goes to like the overarching budget, and then 1 month for like a native focus or a indigenous focus.
Correct.
So if we work with any of local native organizations that might be interested in applying for that specific month, would they still go through this process, or is there a separate process to apply for that one?
There is a separate process for that. We are in the process now of reaching out to native indigenous organizations to get them to apply, because they are allotted 1 month, so they don't get lumped into the whole other rest of the year. So, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you provide these things here?
Yeah, so we will put this whole thing, this has been recorded, so we'll put this online, but I'm also happy to share the presentation with you if that's interesting. So, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And they have last year on the website too, and I watched it. So
Well, again, we thank you all for coming. If there aren't any other questions. Oh, there's a question.
One quick question. So, the health and basics need that Rogue Valley Street Dogs, I don't think that really fits with us. So if we picked a category and we were thinking more like education, and if it was could have been a couple different categories, is that okay? As far as, not if we didn't pick the right category, but we think we are, is that a weird question?
Well, I mean, I think the best answer I can give you is that I would, try to apply for one of these three categories that best fits your organization. But you can also in the application mention that you think that you also fit into, if you're applying in education, well, you also fit into health because maybe you're doing health education or whatever. I don't think we're not going to discard an application because it tries to fit into more than one category.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. I don't see any. Oh, yes, Leona. Yes.
Hi. The is your how am I don't know how to describe this. So I understand for the application for now for change for good, it would be for the calendar year of 2027, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the grants program, that is also calendar year, or is that a different time frame? Because what I'm trying to figure out is if you mentioned, was it the spring that would open up for a summer grant award for the grants program?
Yeah, the grants program is the application, the screening, and the award all happen in the same year. So in July, the process will begin. The applications will begin to become available, and then through the rest of the summer, early fall, we analyze those, and then those awards are made in September. And so it happens much quicker than this Change for Good process.
Gotcha. And so in order to keep it fair, it's probably why you stagger it. For the grants program, I received funding basically in 2025, and so I'm trying to figure out, should I not apply for Change for Good, or should I apply for Change for Good? Can I apply for the grant in 2026 or not? If I apply for the grant in 2026, does that affect the 2027? Because I want to stay on your cycle and not go.
Well, there's nothing to prevent you. I mean, I know that you were awarded this past year for a grant. There's nothing to prevent you for applying for another grant in this year, 2026, 2027, 2028. The grants you can apply every year.
Oh, okay.
The Change for Good, if you can't have, but you can't. I misspoke for a second there. If you are awarded a Change for Good month in 2027, you cannot then apply for a grant in 2027.
Gotcha. Understood.
Yeah. But other than that, there's no, and then again, if you were awarded a grant through this process for 2027, a Change for Good month, you can't apply the next year. You have to wait a year.
Got ya.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I got a question. So this started in 2020. Curious what sort of the push behind the starting was, like what was the story and the why behind starting it? And then was that different now? What's the goal, and specifically what kind of programs, what future are you looking to see?
I don't have
I
an
can't
answer
speak
to
to the first part because that predates me, so I don't actually know exactly.
I don't think do you know the answer to that,
We
Cal?
don't know. We don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
We will get
We'll get the answer for you.
I'm sorry, we're online and sometimes we can't hear if people speak quietly, so I missed that question. Do you mind repeating the question and the answer briefly?
I think if I understood the question correctly, you were wondering, what was the impetus to start the Change for Good program in 2020? And we don't have the answer to that tonight. None of us were involved in that at the very beginning, but we will get the answer and we will get it to you. So just
Good question.
leave us contact information and either I or Callie or someone will get back to you. Yeah.
You did all sign in on the sign-in sheet, correct?
And
Inspector, that was about the time that the electronic checkout stuff on down.
Different buttons,
Many co-ops have similar programs. It's a good chance that is inspired by another co-op.
well, thank you all for coming. If we can be of any further help, get Riley's email. She's the one who couldn't be here tonight, but she's really the co-op marketing person who's dealing directly with this program now. And we will be happy to get you other information if you need it. So
Thank you on.
thank you.
Thank you, online friends.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to be able to join by Zoom as I'm traveling. Really appreciate that extra effort to do the technology.
You bet. All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Glad it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work so well.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah.
You, Evan?
Yeah.
Leader.
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.